Fire doesn't discriminate anyone, but preparedness can save life. Hello everyone, welcome to Law Excellence. This is Prathyusha. In this session, we're going to discuss about the fire safety. Now, we have understood that there are many incidents have been occurring regarding the fire. Now, recently, in the times, we have observed the Goa night fire that has occurred, and it has taken around 25 deaths have been occurred. And not only this, we also have the Rajkot gaming zone fire that has taken 28 deaths. Then we have Hyderabad building fire that has been occurred. Gujarat factory blast has been done. Then Rajasthan bus fire has been observed. Now when we see, we have large number of fire accidents are been occurring in India. And if we see the data regarding the fire safety and fire accidents, now according to the National Crime Report Bureau, it has stated that we are observing around 7,400 plus of fire deaths annually are being observing, and every day we are finding 20 plus deaths have been present. And in Telangana, if we see, there are around 165 fire deaths have been occurring in the year of 2025. Now, along with that, we have large amount of property loss has been occurring, where 800 plus crore annually is being lost due to this fire accidents, and majority of the fire accidents are occurring in the residential buildings. Now, let us see what are the major causes for the fire accidents. First, we are observing there is an electrical short circuits are being occurring. Now, maybe due to the proper electrical wiring is not being present, short circuiting, overburdening of the sockets are being present. Now, that is creating the short circuits in the residential buildings or the commercial buildings that have been there. Then we have the human negligence. Now, this is a major one that has been causing. Large amount of human negligence is creating the fire accidents in India. Then we have industrial fires that have been there, then gas cylinders that have been blasted. Now, these are some of the major causes the fire accidents have been occurring. Now, not only this, we also know that there's large amount of climatic change has been occurring. Heat waves are getting intensified in nature. We know that in India, we have large amount of fire accidents have been occurring, and in India, large amount of climate change has been observed. Now, this has been creating large amount of heat waves. Now, heat waves is enhancing the fire accidents in India. Now, let's see what are the rules that India is having regarding the fire accidents. Now, in India, we don't have a special act, or it doesn't come under the disaster response or the disaster management in that scenario. But here we have a separate rules and act has been present. That is the National Building Code 2016. Now, according to this National Building Code, it has given certain rules by which we have to comply. The first one, we have to have a mandatory fire exit should be present. Every floor should be connected to an alternative fire exit should be there, so that the people can be evacuated in a very better and planned manner. Second, we have to have a fire resistant construction material. So the construction materials that we have been using, now they have to have certain amount of fire resistant capabilities should be present. For example, the paints or the walls that have been there, or the materials that we have been using in the construction should be the fire resistant in model. Then we should have a smoke detectors and the fire alarms. Now this one, we can see majority of the commercial buildings, we do have the smoke detectors and the fire alarms are there. But how many of them are being maintained and how many of them will be working when the time arrives is a questionable in nature. Then we have to have a fire extinguishers on the every floor, and emergency staircases should be present, and we have to have fire clearance certificate should be made compulsory. Now, this is very important to clear and give the certification, occupation certificates to the buildings. Now, one is that it has to comply with the fire safety rules that have been there. Now, let's see what are the challenges that are related to the fire implementation of these fire safety rules in India. The first major problem is that poor enforcement. So we know that the certificates are being compulsory, but still the governance has been lacking behind, where proper checks are not being done. Now, without proper checks only, the certificates are being given, clearance certificates are being given for residents or the commercial buildings. Now, this is increasing large amount of risk for the fire safety. Then we are having illegal and unauthorized constructions. Now, this is a bigger problem which I've been seeing in the urbanized regions that have been there. Then we have overcrowding of the buildings. Now the buildings itself have been having large amount of population have been living. Now in this also we are having overcrowding is been going on. Now whenever overcrowding is been occurring and a fire accidents occur, now this creates large amount of panic leading to chaos, leading to stampede in nature. Now fire deaths will be accompanied by large amount of stampede deaths also. Then we have expired fire safety certificates. Now this is a concern. Now when the building has been constructed, then they have received the clearance certificate. But what about after 10 years, after 20 years? Now those revising certificates also should be present. Now there we have a lagging behind is being present. Then lack of trained safety staff. Not only trained safety staff, even the citizens that are being there, now they also have to have a proper training. Now how to utilize a fire extinguisher. Now what to follow during the fire accidents. Now which are the nearby fire exits that are being present. Now this is where the citizen awareness should also be present along with the trained staff regarding the fire accidents. Then we have the corruption and the administrative negligence. Now this is a rampant issue that we can see in majority of the problems. Now let us also see what are the measures and the way forward that we can take so that the fire incidents in India can be reduced. The first one, when we see, we have to have a safety and strict inspections should be occurring. So after the inspections only, the certificates have to be given. Not only that, again with the revising 5 years once, 10 years once, now these buildings have to be inspected again and the clearance certificates has to be given. Then heavy penalties for the violation. Now if they don't follow the building code rules, then the buildings have to be seized away. The construction has to be demolished in nature. Now this is where heavy penalties also can be imposed on the people. Then regular fire drills in the schools and offices. Now this is a very common in the developed nations where in a regular basis they do this drills and mock drills that have been there. Now similarly we have to make sure that in the schools and offices we have to make the mock drills so that people are being aware during such incidents what should be done, what is the right way and what is the behavioral changes that we have to have. Planning will be imposed through this mock drills. Then electrical fire safety audits should be done, retrofitting of the old buildings, public awareness campaigns, smart fire detection and the sprinkler system. Now these has to be enhanced in India so that the fire related accidents can be prevented. Now it's not just the job of the government or the governance to reduce the fire incidents, but it is the responsibilities of the citizens and the companies so that the safety is being provided, that the safer cities, safer life and safer livelihood will be provided to the people of India. Now this is regarding the fire safety in India. Then let's see one practice question regarding the fire safety. Which of the following is a primarily legal framework governing fire safety standards in buildings in India? A. Disaster Management Act 2005, National Building Code 2016, Environmental Protection Act 1986, Factories Act 1948. Now do comment in the answers the right options. And do also state what are your opinions and what can be done regarding the fire safety in India. Thank you.